Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Kim with Kim's Inspired Life, and welcome to hashtag Deck the Year, which is an open collab hosted by our friend Penny at Penny's Crafty Creations. And so every Thursday, Penny invites us to use a card from a deck of cards, which I have here. I'm working through this deck of cards here, and I think we're on week maybe 19 or something. Well, I'm in Colorado this week, but I did bring my deck of playing cards to work on them, and some scrap papers and some stencils and some stickers. I just got these pack of stickers. They're all animals, this little pack, less than $1 I think, through SHEIN. And so I brought those because I thought that the girls might want to play with them and do little projects with them, which they have. And then I thought, I'm going to go ahead and use them to start my Deck the Year projects. I don't know if I'm right on track with the week of 19 or if I'm playing catch up. I don't remember, but I thought I would do 2. And guys, there's actually a little story behind each of these cards, but let me tell you what I did first, and I'll tell you the quick little story behind them. So I brought some scrap paper that I like to do my index card collages with, because it's something that I can bring along on vacation that it is easy to do, doesn't take up much space. So I went ahead and took out some scrap paper, this striped gray and black, and then this black background. And so first I found the 2 puppies that I wanted to use, and this little white one is so cute. And then I did bring my stencils because the girls like to work with stencils, and I brought my new stencils that I just got from SHEIN that I wanted to use. And then I brought my colored pencils that Kiki just gave me. And then I used the white pencil on the black background, which I think looks really fun. And then this little butterfly kind of clear sticker I put there. And then when I get home, I'm going to add an F for this on this card, and I'll tell you why in a minute, along with probably some little diamond dots and maybe ink around the edge there. And then on this one, same thing. I just found some scrap paper, put that on the back. I used this stencil with the white pencil behind there. I put this dog on here, and I'm going to add an S on this card, and then I'm going to put some diamond dots or some other little some other little embellishments on there. And then of course on the back I always put the number, and then I put a little sentiment on here as well. And then I'm keeping my cards on a ring, and so I will punch a hole for the top and then add a little eyelet there, and then put them on the ring. So I'll do that when I get home. So there are my cards for Deck the Year. I'm so excited that Penny is hosting this Deck the Year challenge, because it really is challenging me to make sure that every week I take out my playing cards and I create an ATC on them, and then I keep them so I can look back over the year and see what was on my mind and heart at that particular month or time when I created them. And then at the end of the year, I'll have 52 cards to share with friends or put in my journals or whatever. So, all right. So if you are here for Deck the Year, you don't want to hear about this chit chat, then thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll talk to you again soon. But if you want to stay for just a minute, I'm going to tell you a little bit about these 2 cards. The reason why I'm going to put an F on this one is because this little white dog looks like Fonzie, a little doodle that we used to have when I was in high school. Oh my gosh, guys. So let me tell you, we loved Fonzie so much. And he was just the fun little puppy, and everyone in our family loved him. My mom loved him. My siblings loved him. Well, one day my mom was washing dishes, and Fonzie got out. She ran into the street, and she got hit by a car. And oh my gosh, it was so sad. So what happened was, it just so happened that the guy that I was dating at the time, his name was Bruce, his mother is the one that hit Fonzie. And because Bruce only lived and his family just lived a few houses down from us. So Bruce's mom came in, and I answered the door, and she said, "Oh no, I hit your dog." And then I had to go and get my mom. She was washing dishes, and my mom came outside, and she was screaming, and oh my gosh, it was awful. So anyway, and then yes, if you're asking if Bruce and I broke up after that, oh yes, we did. I was very upset about that. We were all upset. And then this ATC, I'm putting an S on, and this is for Sammy. And this was the closest little sticker I could find, but we had a chocolate lab for many years. We got her as a puppy. What happened was, before we had Sammy, we had another dog, which was a rescue, and she was a golden lab. We brought her home, and we only had her for about a month. and oh my gosh, she got tangled in the pool sweep, and we had gone out to look at Christmas lights, and we came back in, and our younger son found her in the pool drowned. So that was really sad. So we were all really sad. We'd only had her for like a month. So I went to school. I was teaching 3rd grade at the time. So I went to school the next day, and I told the kids in my class, I said, guys, Mrs. Cochran might be crying today a little bit because last night my dog died. I didn't tell them details or anything. And so, some of the kids, because they have dogs and they understand and everything, and they tried to cheer me up. They drew me pictures of dogs. It was so sweet. Well, then the next week, one of my students, Mark, his mom came, and she was really nice. Her name was Tammy, and she said, Mrs. Cochran, she said, Mark said that your dog died. She said, my mom and dad have chocolate labs, the mom and the dad, and they had a litter. There's 5 of them, and Mark really wants to give you one. And I said, oh my gosh, yes. And she said, well, they won't be ready to leave their mommy and daddy for about another 2 weeks. And so 2 weeks goes by, and Mark comes, and they brought me a cage and blankets and food and just all kinds of fun things, and oh my gosh. And so we had Sammy ever since she was a baby all the way until she was 12 years old. She lived a really good life with us. We had so many adventures with her. We loved her. She was so smart, and she just finally, her heart gave out. And Raleigh and I were on a walk one day, and she was just huffing and puffing, and we just could tell she couldn't make it. So we went and got the car, and Raleigh and my stepdad took Sammy to the vet, and they just said, she's just not going to make it. And so they put her down. So we just cried and cried because we just loved her so much. And so those of you that have had dogs that passed and away after you had them for so long, you know how it is, you know how it feels, or other animals too, not just dogs, of course. And we don't have a pet. Raleigh and I do not have another dog right now. One, because we travel so much, so we think it would be unfair to have a pet, have a dog right now that we would have to board or figure out what's going to happen with her or with the dog. But that's not to say, we feel like, one day, maybe in a few years, we feel like, we'll probably get another dog. We do miss having dogs. Well, I grew up having dogs. Raleigh grew up having dogs. And so it does seem very weird that we don't have a dog. But anyway, 2 sad stories, but happy because we got to enjoy their lives while they were alive. So, all right. Thank you guys. If you stuck around to hear my story about our 2 pets, thank you so much. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.